All right, here we go. All right, so it's Tuesday. It's night two of streaming. It's also the first week of us doing of me doing a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday streaming schedule. So that's interesting. I'm excited to see how all that plays out. Um, was going to try and play a little bit of Paper Magic tomorrow, actually, but I'm actually going to have to go to a work function tomorrow, which again is a little disappointing, but that's okay. So tonight we're back with our Flame Rift testing series here. If you want to call it a series, I guess. We're trying to play Flame Rift in Boros burn, and it's very possible that we should be on 3 Flame Rift and 4 Skewer the Critics. Honestly, I wonder if that's actually correct as opposed to 4 Flame Rift. Um, I don't know. I'm curious to see how it plays out with Boros, and how that all pans out. Flame Rift is like one of those cards that I really like, and I really just kind of want to jam and see if it's any good or not. But we're gonna try it and see what happens. Run it this way. So let's see. Modern League, 100 points. That is what I have this set to, right? Boros Burn. Yeah. Okay. Cool. 100 points. Play league match. We played Mono Red Burn with Flame Rift last night, and we went 3-2 in our league. We were actually pretty fortunate to have a 3-2. We played against that blue white flash Death and Taxes E style kind of deck last night. We played against it twice, and both times we got a win. I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna lose the second time we played it, which was our 5th match, but we ended up squeaking it out. The our one of our losses was to Amulet Titan, and we just lost a super close one, honestly. Like it was really like it was really good games. Like they just had us a turn earlier than we had them both games, which is a little disappointing, but okay. I can't remember what our other loss was to, honestly. I'm not sure. I am not sure, to be honest. So, but I'm interested to see how this deck plays tonight with the way we have it set up. We were playing Lavamancer last night as a one of, which I really kind of like right now, but I'm also not entirely sure if Flame Rift is better than Searing Blaze. Like I don't like in the Boros version. Like if you're gonna play Boros, it feels like having Searing Blaze might just be better. Um, but I'm not sure. I'm I'm intrigued to see how the league goes tonight. What happens? So it did this to us last night. It took forever for us to find a game last night, but when we did, we found our other matches pretty quickly. So I'm curious to see if it takes a long time tonight or if it's okay. Well, talk about it, and you shall get a match. Hopefully, our opponent's actually paying attention. Hi, and good luck. This hand's dog water. We're going to throw this back. This hand isn't great, honestly, but I guess we'll keep it. Keep and throw back a Wooded Foothills. Shock and Sacred Foundry, suspend Rift Bolt, say go. We're gonna we're gonna have some pretty good draw steps to win this game here. I don't know what we're playing against yet, but it's more than likely elves. Alright, let's see what they do, because we still have Lightning Helix if we need it next turn, but I'm interested to see what they play here. Elvish Warmaster. Okay. So they go to 10, and we're going to say go here because basically anything that's not Court of Calling or Collected Company, they're forced to take damage on. And if we need to, we can actually just Helix something in response. But they are at 10. 3, 5, 7, 9 puts us to 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to block here, and then we're going to Helix the Archdruid. It's not super aggressive, but it does allow us to stave off some of the bleeding here. So we're only taking 4 this way and going to 11. Now if we draw a Bolt or Lava Spike or something here, then then obviously we had the chance to go for it. So I think this is more efficient technically because we get to draw a card and then we get to play our land. Now, drawing into that extra land is not good here. Curious to see if they block. Okay. So if they play 2 spells, we can just get them here. Searing Blaze will be really good here, and so will Path. I don't think we really have anything else we want in this matchup, but I mean, in a format where people play Boros Charm a lot, the difference between 6 and 4 is actually quite significant, so go to 12, take 4, or take 5, go to 7, they're at 1. Hopefully they don't have anything. Like, I don't know if they have like a random way to gain life or something. Alright. So we ended up getting out of that one, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't think we were. Okay, so we want Path and Searing Blaze. So this is one of those matchups where, like, it's the same thing as last night. Same basic principle as last night. Flame Rift isn't good because Flame Rift is damage to each player, and on top of that, like, so Flame Rift is both sides of the table. It does 4 to everybody. So when you're going upstairs and you're 3ing people to death and you're ahead on life, that's great. But when you're playing against something like Elves that can apply a lot of pressure, I don't think that's really where you want to be. So I think it's okay for us to cut Flame Rift and an Eidolon because we are on the draw. And try it like that. Now, I won't lie. I have won on the draw against Elves a couple times, but it is near impossible to win on the draw. Our opponent begins with 7. We're also going to keep 7. This is a very good hand. So we're not on the play. So I'm actually going to say go here and see what they play before we bolt anything. Because we might actually be able to snag something pretty good. Like if they go for Dwynen's Elite right here, we can kill the Elvish Mystic. Interesting. So we're going to bolt that, and then we're going to play our Eidolon and say go here. So if we just played our Swift Spear, they'd be at 19, and we wouldn't be able to play our Eidolon, or we were forced to play Eidolon or play other spells. Alright, hopefully they can't have like an insane turn here. Because we can beat Heritage Druid. So we go to 18. We Lava Spike them. We're going to kill Heritage Druid to go to 16. Which I think is important. Heritage Druid is a big part of like how they combo and they do a lot of other things. So keeping that off the field is good. Having 2 Lightning Helix here as some of our last cards is, pretty good cleanup. So they go to 11. And is this thing a 3/3? Puts one card on top of their library. Okay. So we can go to 15 here. I mean, we're having to take quite a bit because of our Eidolon, but this is actually okay. And now we're going to Helix this, which really ends up with us gaining 1. And we get to get in for 4 and put them to 7. Now they did put a card on top, so I imagine it's a land. Yeah. This feels like Collected Company because it's out of Eidolon range. No. Alright, I feel like this game's probably over here, but I've been wrong before. I've lost games that I thought I had locked up in the bag, so. So they go to 3, and then they gain 6 and go to 9. Okay. I'm going to be honest, I think killing this is fine. Because, again, we're going to net gain 1. And then we're going to get to put them to 5. And they've used their Weather the Storm, which didn't really do anything. I mean, sure, like it prevented them from dying, but Scavenging Ooze is pretty good. They go to 3. And they can make this thing a 5/5, so it can have quite a bit of value. They get to go to 5 here off the Scavenging Ooze. So if we draw a land or any 1-mana burn spell, they're dead. Put everything on the stack. They go to 2. We swing in and they die. Okay. Alright, well, we got Elves our first match, and our opponent didn't draw great, honestly. Like, I don't want to say we got a free win there because we did have to kill all of their stuff, and there are games like that where it doesn't pan out very well, but it did work out. We were pretty fortunate not to get stuck in a terrible spot with Flame Rift that game, actually, so so I'd already signed up for the league, but I'm still curious to know if 3 Flame Rift and 4 Skewers would have been better. I don't know, but I really liked Flame Rift, and I think that's kind of the point. Like, you know, like we played Mono Red, Burn with Flame Rift last night, and tonight we're playing Boros Flame Rift, and I'm really just trying to test the waters here, and and see what everything looks like. So we only have 2 interactive spells in our hand, and our opponent's playing Lurrus. I think we're gonna mulligan this. I think this hand's better. We'll ship the mountain back and keep this. We have Bolt or Threat on turn 1, and we have multiple 2-drops, so if we get Thoughtseize, like, it appears they will lead on Thoughtseize. What is this? Interesting. So, I am going to go ahead and Bolt this. I mean, maybe I should be saving my bolts for something else, but I do want to go ahead and get that off the field. And then next turn, we can play Eidolon. What does it say? As long as you have Delirium what? Gets +2/+2 and has flying and attacks each combat if able. Okay. Yeah, we're going to run out Eidolon because we're more than likely looking at a Fatal Push right here, so. If not, I would be surprised. Alright, interesting. They didn't play anything. Okay, so they had it. They just wanted the Prowess trigger, which, I mean, okay. Like, Seal of Fire, okay. We go to 15. Drawing an answer here would be pretty good. I think we're just going to run out both of our Swiss Spears here and allow them to kill one of them. The funny part is that unless they're really greedy, they won't go for it here because we do have a mana open. And doing this signifies that we did this to play around their Seal of Fire. Okay. Well, now they're going to learn that we have nothing. I guess they don't really learn that we have nothing from that so much as they just, like... This, like, feels like red-black prowess. Or maybe, like, Shadow Jund? Is this Jund Shadow? Croxa. I think we're going to discard our Flame Rift here. I mean, it's not really doing anything. Because if we kill this and then he has a fetch land, he can put Croxa into play, and I don't want that. So we're going to attack and see what he does. Or she. I guess our opponent could be a she. So we're going to go to 10 here. And we're going to cast Lightning Helix. He's going to sacrifice his Silifier here, which is fine. We knew this was coming. Now if he has any land, he can play his Croxa. He's going to put Luris into his hand, okay? Okay. Well, there's land for his Croxa. Goblin guy wasn't great there. Our opponent was at 11. We would have rather have had a burn spell. Probably getting a basic here if I had to guess. Interesting. Well, let's put our opponent to 4. Now, that does leave us with 6 outs because we have 3 Flame Rifts and we have 3 Boros Charms left in our deck, so... Goblin Guide number 2 is not bad. They have to have some kind of removal spell here or something. Okay. Oh, you have double bolt? Oh, you're going to dart one. Okay. I mean, to be fair, that's probably worth not going to 2. So this is definitely just like Rakdos Prowess. Or Jund Prowess, I guess. I assume the green is for Goyf. With Silifier and everything else. And our opponent knows what we're drawing, so... Guess we get to put our opponent to 1, and then we're still looking at Flame Rift or Boros Charm as an out here, so... It's like they've looked at my top card and stopped for a minute here, so... Okay. Well, that's probably why they stopped. I guess that explains their hesitation. I mean, it's sweet that we had those outs, though. That we had that to play to. Okay, so we're looking at Searing Blaze. And probably we're just looking at Path. I don't really think Rest in Peace is worth it. Again, cards that are not good in this match include Flame Rift because they're just not great. Like, the 4 damage is really good, but I don't think it's worth it to have. Like, again, things that apply pressure to us aren't good. When Flame Rift's not good against things that apply pressure to us. So we're going to bring in Skullcracks for their life gain. I mean, they're playing Brutality or something more than likely. Path is really good, and Searing Blaze is good against a lot of against. It's good against Luris. It's really good against Swift Spear. It's good against that 1-drop that they played that surveils one whenever you cast a non-creature spell. So the only thing that we saw is that Searing Blaze is bad against Searing Blaze is bad against Kroxa. That's Kroxa. That's the card I'm looking for. It was a pretty good draw step in Flame Rift. Now, to be fair, we did have 6 outs. So, I mean, like, it's not like the odds of us winning that game were, like, perpetually 0. Like, perpetually 0. Like, we had, like, us drawing that was very lucky. I'm not saying it wasn't, but it's also not crazy to think that we draw our outs there, drawing out. I feel like we're playing into what they have here, but we're still going to lead on our creature because we drew it. Okay. If they play Kroxa here, we're probably going to discard. So anything that fuels the yard for Kroxa scares me. So I'm trying to stay away from this card. They probably have Fatal Push here, which is fine. Servel says you get to leave it on top or put it into your graveyard. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Puts 1 card on top. Okay. So they're at 15. We have 9 points in our hand and a path. So this feels like a pretty reasonable spot. You go to 13. Molten Rain, one of our lands. I'm gonna be honest. I truly have no idea what our opponent's doing. Like, it seems sweet, and I like it, but feels like Jund cards they own. Like, I like Molten Rain a lot, and it's really good against a lot of things, but okay, Tarmogoyf and Sunbait Canyon. All right, man, this is something else. So we get to put our opponent to 10 here. We have 1 card in hand. So we do have Searing Blaze in our deck, so I think that's a reason to hold this. Our opponent has a 4-turn clock here. Or, I'm sorry, a 5-turn clock, right? Yeah, 5-turn clock here. And we just have to draw burn spells consistently here to win the game. Creatures will not do it from here. I personally feel like that's the case, but drawing a Searing Blaze would be very timely here. We're speeding up their clock a little bit, but it is worth it because we're going to be able to put them to 1, which basically means if they use their Sunbait Canyon for anything other than to draw a card, they're dead. Okay, so they're going to draw a card, which, I mean, makes sense. Math checks out. I wonder if they're playing Weather the Storm, or if they're playing, like, Brutality or something. Oh, man, that's right. All right, so we have to draw it here, basically, or we're dead. There's no basically. We have to draw it here or we're dead. I guess Path allows us not to die if they don't have a Bolt. Put Luris into your hand? Okay, well, we have the window. Any burn spell does it. Even Flame Rift does not kill us. Which we took out. Okay. Path does not... We're not dead on the board. So there's that. Path the Goyf. We take 3. Hopefully they don't have a bolt in their hand. If they do, or Steel Fire, I guess, also kills us. Lava Dart also kills us. Yep. Yep. Okay. No. Okay, so Goyf makes me want to reconsider some things here. One, I think we want Eidolon. I don't know if we want Searing Blaze or not. So I feel like Searing Blaze is very questionable because if they draw Swift Spear, if they draw Swift Spear, if they draw the 1-drop whatever that guy, the Dragon Channeler Surveil guy, if they're playing like I don't know what else they're playing. Like if they draw either of those, which you've seen, they might be playing. Honestly, they could be playing like Soulscar Mage. If they draw one of those, Searing Blaze is great. If they don't, all those cards are inevitably terrible. Rest in Peace shuts off Goyf, and it shuts off Kroxa and Luris. Would I rather just have Path and try to beat those cards a different way? Also shuts off Lava Dart. I think it's definitely worth bringing in Rest in Peace. Now the question is, what are we going to cut? I don't think you want to cut Eidolon because we're on the play. We didn't really see any life gains, so maybe we can get away with cutting a Skullcrack. And Boros Charm doesn't really target any of their stuff, so maybe we can cut a Boros Charm. Put that over here, that will drive me crazy. And try it like this. I don't know if this is correct. We are bringing in more cards that don't win the game off the top of the library in a spot that we've been in. In spots that we've been in, so I don't know. It's hard to say if this is correct, but it feels like Rest in Peace shuts off a lot of what they're trying to accomplish. This hand feels really good. We're going to keep. Goblin Guide's probably only going to be worth 2 points this game. Generally, post-board games it is. They hit a swamp. They're going to have to discard something here. Discard a Kroxa. Okay. So I think we're just going to say go here. The fact that they're playing fast lands tells me that they're not playing Shadow. I was curious at first if they were playing Shadow. No, they're not playing a lot of black, so... Okay, so we're at 18. They're at 18. We have 12 points in our hand and a canyon. Can we just start going upstairs? Well, let's try it. I don't know if it's correct, but... Alright, well on turn 3 we've managed to put our opponent to 6 here, so... And now I'm doing that thing where I'm typing in their scoreboard. I hate when Magic does that. Should probably fetch first with Searing Blaze boarded out. Yeah, I definitely should have played the fetch first there. I guess it's just instinct to think that I need Fatal Push, or that I need fetch for Searing Blaze in case it's relevant. But yeah, that's very true. Definitely should have just done that. Tarmogoyf's pretty good. 1 mana burn spell, please. Let's just end this game. All right, well, that is the 6 points that we need to end this game. It's just all about playing around life gain here. And they're playing Abbott. All right. Our opponent is up to some stuff here. Surveil 1. I mean, I won't lie, the whole like Surveil 1 guy actually seems pretty cool. Yeah, white, red. We're just gonna go ahead and Helix you now because you can't kill us, so. Yep. Clock just wasn't fast enough, sorry buddy. Skullcrack our opponent. Alright, well, we're 2-0 now. So, Flame Rift was actually a key component game 1. Because if that had been, let's say that Flame Rift had been like an extra Skullcrack or another Skewer, our opponent was at 4, and ultimately we might have lost the game. So, having 4 Flame Rift actually really came in handy game 1, because our opponent was at 4, and we had played a Flame Rift, and we hadn't played a Flame Rift. They took our Flame Rift, or we discarded it or something. So instead of having 3 outs with 3 Boros Charms, we had 3 Flame Rifts and 3 Boros Charms, and we actually ended up drawing into one of our outs there and winning the game. So it was pretty nice. This hand's really good. We're gonna keep this. There's no Searing Blaze in the deck, so as Joseph mentioned just a minute ago, we're gonna fetch first. Was a good call and something I wasn't really thinking about, so we're gonna stick to playing that. Also, our opponent has no companion, notably. Marsh Flats generally means some kind of control deck, or it means, I guess it could mean Orzhov midrange. Could also mean Death Shadow. I've played a Goblin Guide and you fetch shocked aggressively. What the hell? So our opponent's okay with going to 13. We're just going to play both our Swiss Spears here. They're going to rebound that thing, and then it's not going to matter. I mean, that is pretty stupid to be able to do that on turn 1. Well, okay. Block Swiss Spear, go to 9. We're going to fetch for Sacred Foundry tapped because there is no... There is not... We do not have Searing Blaze in our deck, so there's no point in holding up the fetches. Burn Spell? Alright, well, we're going to send it in here. All right, cool. Well, our opponent did some pretty busted stuff on turn 1, but then it never mattered. Um, so they're playing Stoneforge Mystic, Grave Titan, and some other stuff. So I don't really know what all we want or need here. They're playing some kind of mid-rangey deck, obviously. So we're gonna bring in Skullcracks, and we're gonna bring in at least a couple Searing Blaze. On the draw, Eidolon does initially feel pretty good. It feels like they're playing a pretty like 2 and 3 drop heavy deck, so it feels pretty solid. Um, I don't know that cutting Flame Rift is correct, but our creatures don't seem great in this kind of matchup, so maybe we try it like that. I don't know if Searing Blaze is correct, but everything we saw except for Grave Titan, we can Searing Blaze, and Grave Titan makes Searing Blaze targets. So, actually, let's bring in the other Searing Blaze. Let's cut a Goblin Guide and a Swift Spear, and then let's bring in the third Flame Rift and try it like that. Again, I don't know if this is correct. We're kind of playing Modern against a lot of decks that I've never played against. So, because of Modern Horizons 2, we're getting to play against a lot of things that I've never seen before. So, okay, so no busted turn 1 shenanigans. The fact that you get to evoke these things by exiling a card from your hand is kind of busted. Like the white one, like Solitude, is pretty good. I think Solitude, I think that's what it's called. I don't remember what the black one that they just played was called, like Whisperer or something like that, I think. I don't really know. Oh boy. Well, drawing another land wasn't what we wanted to see, but it doesn't mean it's over. We still have 7 points in our hand and another Eidolon, so... Ah, they're playing both. Alright, so... then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Yeah, so these kind of decks are going to be annoying, I think. Okay, we only have 2 drops in our hand, so we don't really care about that, but... Drawing a 5th land was not what we wanted. Now, it does feel Searing Blaze basically until the end of time, but... Now, the good part about this for us is that our opponent probably thinks we're just out of gas here, or that we have a bunch of 1-drops in our hand, so... Dark Confidant, alright. Alright. And they get to get a plane, so they're probably just going to get a Godless Shrine. Actually get a basic. Alright. And they're playing Smallpox, which is also interesting in this kind of deck. Of course, I mean, I guess to be fair, they get to put something pretty busted into play on turn 1, so... So, permanents you control get indestructible until end of turn. So I'm going to play it that way so that if they attack with their lifelinking guy, I can just kill it. And then we have a bunch of lands in our hand, so get wrecked, Boros of Stalin. Okay. Oh, Chalice. I don't see myself winning here, so I'm just going to kind of concede here. So if they're playing Chalice, I think Smash is probably good enough if that's the case. So we'll cut the Flame Rifts and bring in the Smashes. I think this hand's really good. We're going to keep this. Our opponent takes a mulligan. Gonna be honest, not that I really know what that means or anything, but oh, suspend. And if they're gonna do busted stuff, they're gonna do busted stuff. It's not like I can do anything about it. See, so they're exiling Liliana of the Veil to take a card from our hand. They're gonna take a Boros Charm. Rift Bolt you. We're gonna say go here. Put our opponent to 13. We're just gonna keep saying go here. They know about Searing Blaze and Lightning Helix, but that's it. Okay. So hopefully we hit a land here. That would be very nice. Now, the bad news is that they're at 4, and we've already played 2 of our Boros Charms, and we took all of our Flame Rifts out for Smash to Smithereens. But, well, they must gonna be doing something here. Make us discard our Lightning Helix. Okay. Burn spell? Well, that's not a burn spell. I mean, it can be, but it's not. Okay. We go to 18. Opponent says go. There are 2 more Searing Blazes in our deck. We're going to hold that. Oh, this is what I was afraid of. So now they're going to go to 5. What? Did they change the wording on that card? Oh. I thought they could only exile opponents' stuff. Well, this is going to be tough because they're at 7. So we're going to need them to play an artifact or something here. Yeah, and see, this is the problem with bringing in Smash to Smithereens in matchups like this because it's normally just not good enough. All right, so we need to hit a Skull Crack and to a Boros Charm is what we need. I guess Lightning Helix. We're gonna stem the bleeding, so this is fine because it allows us. It stops them from gaining life. And we don't know. They could have drawn like an Ephemerate or something like that. Wow. Now they draw Chalice on 1. Man, our opponent's draw has been really good. Like, okay, let me rephrase. Our opponent's draw mixed with the garbage we've drawn the last 3 or 4 turns has been pretty rough. So, all right. We had Smash Smithereens for like 3 turns. Yeah, we drew back-to-back 1-drops there. That's very unfortunate that the game played out that way. I'm not going to lie. Based on how the game was going, I feel like that's a really good matchup for us. Like, I feel like we win that probably 8 times out of 10, honestly. Like, that feels like a really good matchup for us, and it's pretty disappointing that we lost that because I feel like we shouldn't. Like, we have to draw really poorly to lose that matchup, so it's pretty disappointing to lose that game, but we're still 2-1. We're still having a pretty good league so far. See if we can get a third win right here. This hand's really good. Our opponent mulligans quite a bit here. They could be on Tron or Dredge or some kind of other crazy combo deck, so I mean, them mulliganing might not matter. Well, chip in for one. Alright, so them mulliganing honestly does not make me feel that much better when they go Forest into Amulet of Vigor. Like, we could just be dead here. The fact that they're playing a Forest. So Lightning Helix here basically just nets us the same because of the Sunbait Canyon, which I'm okay with. This is still quite a bit of pressure we're applying. And there's probably an argument that we should have played the Idol on there because no matter what they play, they're going to have to take damage. But also puts us in a weird spot. Okay, Cement Growth Chamber. Are they going to bounce that? Azusa go to 7. Then they have... Okay. And then the Growth Chamber... Oh, they're drawing a card. Interesting. So if I attack and they block here, it's still lethal either way. Doesn't matter how they draw it up. Bolt you. They go to 4, they take 6. Alright, we managed to get the first one against Amulet Titan, which is pretty good. So we want Path. And we want Skullcrack. Eidolons are really bad here. And I think Searing Blazes might be better than Flame Rifts. Let's try it that way. This hand's really good. We're going to keep this. Oh. Thought I was clicking keep, but I was not. Our opponent also keeps 7, which is a little worrisome because decks like this can just kill you. Like just you look up and bang, you're dead. Dryad of the Elysian Grove is a hard one to deal with. We'll probably use our Path to beat that, honestly. Goblin Guide. Swiss Spear. Attack for a bunch. Semi Growth Chamber. Okay. They've had a pretty slow hand so far. And a Primeval Titan. That's not good. Urza Saga. Okay. Into Dryad. Into play the Simic Growth Chamber. Pick up Urza Saga. So I'm actually going to hold up Bolt here. Hold up Bolt and Path, because that way we can path the primetime if they play it, and if they packed for another Dryad, we can kill it. But if they don't do anything, then we don't have to. If they don't play anything that we need to path, then we can just go upstairs with our Bolt and then just try to kill them. Okay, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Slayer Stronghold. Into you have another land. So the really cool thing about the way this works is when the trigger goes to resolve, since they don't have this anymore, they actually don't get to bolt anything. Now, they can pact for Baloth here if that's in their deck. That puts them to 11. And then we've used both of our paths, so we're kind of up shit creek here, if that's their play. Okay. You've already played your extra land, so playing Dryad doesn't really do you any good here. I mean, I don't think they have a way to get out of this, but they could have life goes on or something weird. So we get to play Bolt and then let them take... Okay, I was like, and then we can go to damage, and if they do anything in response, we can Boros Charm them, but... Okay, so it's turned out pretty well so far. We're 3-1 with Boros Flame Rift. I don't know, the deck has felt pretty good so far. We've had like pretty good draw steps tonight. The only time that I can really complain was in our third match we played against Orzhov. Taxes stuff, I don't really know, but Orzhov mid-range, and we just kind of had some rough draws. We had a Smash to Smithereens for a while that we didn't, that we never got to use because they didn't have any artifacts, and then they went Chalice. Like 2 turns after we discarded it, they had Chalice into Batterskull, and we just had a flurry of 1-drops after that, which was pretty disappointing. But it's not. I mean, it is what it is, kind of thing. So, but the decks felt really good overall tonight. Honestly, I don't really have any complaints or anything. On our one loss, we just needed to draw better. So. I don't like to keep these single Sunbait Canyon hands because they deal us a lot of damage. I think this hand's a lot better. I think we can keep this and put the Boros Charm back. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Wooded Foothills for Ketria Triome. Alright. This feels like this is going to be a good matchup for Skullcrack. Okay. Okay. It's interesting that I mean, maybe they didn't have anything else to do. I don't know, it just felt better to play fire there and kill my Swift Spear. I don't know. I don't really understand my opponent's logic behind that line, but people do what they do. Maybe they were hoping I was stuck on one land or something. So, I don't know. Did they need to draw a card? I bet they needed to draw a card. Nah, they're stuck on lands, and so they needed to draw. Okay, makes more sense now at least. Get to put our opponent to 12. Run out an Eidolon, see if they counter it. They could be running Counterspell, they could be running Remand. I don't know, there's lots of things they could have here. We unfortunately don't have another 1-drop, so I'm gonna put that on the top. And then we're gonna draw Eidolon. Ooh, they're still not doing anything worth, okay? I mean, I'm not complaining. We're gonna attack for 1 here, and then we're gonna hold up Skullcrack after we play Eidolon. Okay. Alright, our opponent could not draw lands. Which works out pretty well for us. Alright. I have absolutely no idea what they're playing. We're going to bring in Skullcracks. I don't know. They're probably going to want to... Generally, my life total doesn't matter in matchups like this, so I don't know what they're playing or what they're up to. This doesn't feel like... Maybe they're playing the team recycling deck. I guess it's possible. It plays like some weird cards, so I don't know. It's very possible that they're playing that, but it does not feel like that's what they're on. Now they're playing Jeskai Triumph. Gonna get a basic, play Goblin Guide, chip in. Alright. Alright. Well, it's good to know that they can actually just counter our Eidolon with that if they want to. We're gonna do what I think is always the correct play, and it's to play Eidolon before combat. Your opponent doesn't get free information if they're gonna kill your Goblin Guide there. Now, I know a lot of people that disagree with that. Again, we're gonna put that on top. Eidolon feels really good. They hit Shardless Agent. Okay. Now, we can't kill Shardless Agent, so that's fine. And I imagine they want that. They're probably not going to fetch. I mean, Shardless Agent is 2 cards, so... I like Shardless Agent. Had at one point considered as a joke, I said out loud one time that we should play Temur Burn with Shardless Agent and Bloodbraid Elf. Because I thought it seemed like fun. Oh, they're playing Crashing Footfalls. Oh, okay, so they're just trying to play free things. Okay. So Eidolon is not going to be very good here, but I think we are going to be able to race. I mean, our opponent's at 7. We have 6 points in our hand, so it's... A Skewer, a Lava Spike, a Lightning Bolt, all win the game here. We're just going to go ahead and jump in front. If they're attacking with everything, it means that they're willing to... That they're They have something else to play. Yeah, see Ardent Plea. Another Crashing Footfalls. Okay, so we're dead if we don't have it. So there's that. No, that's disappointing. Maybe we get lucky and they just like crack a fetch or something. I don't know. Not likely, but I now have a better understanding of what our of what our opponent is doing. So that's gonna help. The funny part is Rolling Vortex would be great in this matchup. Yep, there's nothing we can do. Even if we kill a Rhino, we don't have anything. So I didn't mean to reveal my hand. So maybe so Eidolon is great because these cards don't have a mana cost. Flame Rift actually seems worse than Lightning Helix because they apply a lot of pressure with those crashing footfalls and things. So I think bringing in Helixes is better. I think Eidolon on the play is going to be really good against this deck if we have it. So we don't have it, but we do have a really good hand. So we're going to keep this. The weird part about playing against decks like this is that you could lose anytime. Like, a lot of these decks like this, they kind of just have like the, like turn the game around really quickly kind of stuff. I wonder if they're still playing the 3-mana enchantment. Can't really remember what it's called. Ardent Plea. They do get to start with 2 mana, so that's pretty good though. What they're going to do with that 2 mana, I don't know, but okay. We're going to try to get in as much damage as possible this turn because honestly, we just want our opponent dead. Like, they're playing combo mumbo jumbo garbage and we want them dead. Ardent Plea. Yep. So we're going to say go here. I don't know if our opponent has counter spells or not in their deck. They might be playing Force of Negation with all the blue cards they're playing. I mean, I say all the blue cards. I haven't really looked at their deck. Oh, they are playing Force of Negation, but 2 of them are on the bottom, so the odds of them having one are not likely. Yep, no blocks. I'm willing to take 8 here. Into Crashing Footfalls. So we kind of have to win this turn again. Like, it's kind of the same thing. Kind of the same thing as last game. We either win right here or we don't. We're going to put you to 1, Boros of Stalin. Please be a burn spell. Damn, that sucks. I mean, there's nothing that we do here. Like, we just, yeah, that sucks. It's very unfortunate to lose that way. That's, we went 3-2 that league, and our 2 losses were to us having multiple outs game 3, and just bricking. And, that's just part of Magic. So I'm honestly okay with losing those games while While yes, extremely disappointing, there's what can you do about stuff like that? We played to our outs and put ourselves in the best position possible, and we just lost. So, and I mean that's how it is sometimes. Okay, so thinking about changes. Next time I play the deck, I really think that we need to play 3 Flame Rift and 4 Skewer the Critics. I really want to be on like Flame Rift is something I boarded out a lot tonight. Um, like the sideboard is set up like super cleanly in my opinion. Like there's 3 Firewalkers, there's 3 Searing Blazes, there's 3 Smashes, like 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Path, 2 Skullcrack. One of the only things that I think you could consider is playing Roiling Vortex, and I'm going to be honest, that's just because we played against a lot of decks tonight that didn't have to pay mana for their spells. So I don't even. That's kind of personal opinion that we might need a couple of those in the side. I like that. I just don't know what you cut. Maybe you play 2 Firewalkers and a Skullcrack and play 2 Ruling Vortex. I don't know. It's possible. We haven't played really against anything recently, so. But that was Magic tonight. I feel like the deck did pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the results. That was Magic. If you came by and hung out for Magic, I appreciate you stopping by. As always, I'll put everything up on YouTube in the morning. Um, and I'm thinking I'm gonna play Rocket League after this. Try to get some drills in. Try to play the rings and try to work on some of my mechanics and probably play some twos and some threes. So if you're here for Magic, thanks for hanging out. And if you're here for Rocket League, I'll be back in a few minutes.